Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Srivas Prabhu.
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna.
Mataji. Welcome to our show on introduce of Grihastha couples, senior devotees. So Srivas Prabhu and Mataji have been married for more than 30 years, so almost 35 years. And Prabhuji has served as a temple president for 26 years. And he's also the zonal supervisor in West Africa. And right now he's also appointed as a GDO in ISKCON. And we are really honored to have them on our interview show today. So we already had interview with Mataji. So today we're going to hear as a couple something about them because they have been inspiring a lot of devotees, taking care of a lot of devotees, and giving them direction in their grihastha life and bringing them to Krishna consciousness. And Prabhu is very instrumental in also connecting with the outside world and being present as the Hare Krishna movement. So they are very, very qualified couple, and let's hear from them today. Srivas Prabhu, would you like to share something about yourself?
Hare Krishna. Well, somehow by Srila Prabhupada's mercy, we have come in touch with this very glorious movement, ISKCON, and we are trying to serve in different capacities to facilitate the preaching in West Africa. So, as he mentioned, I have headed a number of temples in West Africa, and then finally becoming the regional secretary. And then, of course, with the latest development in ISKCON, we had to go for the GBC College program. And after that, I was appointed the zonal supervisor. And now we have been appointed global duty officers to serve in higher capacity. And we feel honored that Srila Prabhupada is giving us this opportunity to serve the Society of Vaishnavas. And I think that is the greatest thing to do in life, to serve devotees, chant the holy name, serve Vaishnavas. And that is what I'm just trying to do.
Wow, so inspiring. So Prabhuji, please tell us, what about your grihastha life? What was easy about your grihastha life, and how did you apply your principles that you just mentioned?
Yes, many people enter the grihastha life thinking they're going to have a wonderful day. They're going to enjoy themselves. But actually, grihastha life means responsibility. If you are going to the grihastha life with desire to enjoy, you'll be disappointed. Because it is an ashram of service.
Do you agree, Mataji? Yes.
You have to serve your spouse, you have to serve your children, you have to serve the other ashrams, Brahmachari ashram, Vanaprastha ashram, Sannyas ashram. You have to serve the community at large. You have to serve the whole world. Even animals. It is said that a grihastha should not eat until he has satisfied all the living entities around him. So it is a very, very responsible position to become a grihastha. So that means a lot of sacrifice. To do these things nicely, it means you have to sacrifice your own pleasure, you have to sacrifice your own enjoyment in order to please others. And that is a difficulty.
And just to add, personally, I have been to Ghana and I have seen their life from the beginning. They got married in 1983. I wasn't even born. And back then, Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj requested them to help in bigger mission and building temple and all that. And they sacrificed a lot in their grihastha life to come and dedicate completely in serving. And they were living in the temple, austere conditions in West Africa. So he has done what he's talking about. Would you like to add something, Mataji, about this aspect of sacrifice? What kind of sacrifice did you needed to make your marriage last so long?
The sacrifice I can say is that if we believe in God, let's say, my understanding is that when we married, I think my desire is to serve. And our service is to serve God and serve all the devotees. So I think we are like a caretaker, which we have to take care of other people for the pleasure of the Lordship. So that is it's a big sacrifice, but that is what I owned up to do that time. And that's why I make that kind of decision within me. So when we married, our marriage is not for enjoyment. As soon as we say, this is my husband, this is your wife, then I travel out for 6 months. So doing service up and down, Sankirtan service in different temples like this, and I come back again and I travel out again because I felt that I have to serve all the time.
Okay, let's take a break. We'll come back. So we are back after the break, and let's hear from them. What would you like to have known before getting married?
Yes, spiritually speaking, it is good to know the disposition of your spouse because you work together as a team, and as a team, you need to know the likeness, the dislikes and likeness of your spouse. You need to know the um, the compatibility, astrological compatibility. They all play very important roles in the relationship.
You mean like to understand the psychology of
Yes, you need to understand the psychology of your spouse because that is very, very important. So,
and it's not easy, right?
It's not easy, but then you need to take guidance from astrologers, from experienced devotees, from your authorities, and this way you can come to understand the person you're going to work with, you're going to live with for the rest of your life. So,
so how long did it take for you to understand Mother Rucira?
Yes, because we did not have that understanding initially. Those days, early days, there wasn't much of counseling and much of astrological compatibility. You just get together. So it took us some time. And I can say we are still trying to understand ourselves. It is a lifetime situation. But I think to some level we have understood what each and every one desires. We've understood our various psychologists to some degree, and that has helped us to move along smoothly. And so it is very important for the couples to understand the disposition, the psychological state of each of them, and this will help them in solving many of the conflicts that may come up. Somebody said that marriage is a contract of quarrels.
Contract of quarrels.
Because you are two individual beings. You have separate desires. And therefore, one person may desire like this and the other person desire like that. And for you to come to the center, to come to the meeting point, there will be some argument. So that is what is described as a contract of quarrels, because you are separate living beings. And so, knowing the psychology of the person, understanding the disposition of that person will help so much in solving or dealing with such issues, such conflicts, such misunderstanding, such disagreements that may come up in the relationship. And of course, if we see ourselves as servants, caretakers of the spouse, then we will not get too disturbed when there is some differences of opinion, differences of desires, differences of plans, and so on and so forth. They are bound to come up, definitely. So, but as a caretaker, as a responsible husband or wife, your duty is to assist your spouse to make progress on the path of Krishna consciousness. So you have to be ready to tolerate, to accept, to go the extra mile to help your spouse. Just like the spiritual master, the guru, he goes the extra mile. He undergoes a lot of inconvenience just to help us to make progress. Just like certain senior devotees who are our guide, they take the trouble, they tolerate all the inconveniences to help us make progress. So similarly, as soon as we accept the position of a spouse, then we must be ready to inconvenience ourselves just to help our spouse to move forward on this path of Krishna consciousness. And that is the goal, that is the beauty of it. The beauty of marriage is that you are able to help your spouse to make progress in Krishna consciousness. And Krishna is very happy when you make that sacrifice just to help the spouse become Krishna conscious.
What a beautiful point. Thank you very much. So we may come back with more questions to you, and we were very happy to hear from you. Thank you again for coming. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.